as she takes on how to build an international career in tech from Nigeria. Okay, so can we put hands together for her and
Thank
just welcome her?
you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for having me. I really appreciate it. So I'm going
Thank
to open my slides and then start
Yes, please.
talking. So I'm going to presentation mode. Yes, my name is Stella Inabo. I'm here to talk to you about how to build an international career in tech from Nigeria. So let me introduce myself once again. So I am a content strategist for international B2B software as a service brands. Basically, those are tech companies that sell software to businesses that sell to other businesses. It's a whole thing. When you enter into tech, there are different branches, which means there's space for everybody. I'm also an angel investor, so I put money into startups and businesses in the African tech ecosystem, and I advise these businesses on how to grow, and even other businesses that have not invested in, to give them um, basically insights on how to market, sell, and grow their companies. So some backstory of how I got here. I actually just started writing essays and then sharing them on my website back then. It was called Intrastella. I just really liked talking about random things and putting them down words. And then I met someone who helped me get my first job writing. I think I was paid 3,000 naira per article back then. This was like 2019 or so. And then I would just be writing. Then I started writing for someone who was paying me 1 naira per word. I kept going and going. After NYSC, I was just like, okay, um, we need to get ourselves a job. So I found out about this method called cold pitching, which is when you reach out to people via email. And I started reaching out to companies saying, oh, I've done this and that. Here's what I can do for you. And I made sure I tackled like my focus was on the international companies because I think one of the gigs I did paid me in dollars. So I was like, oh my God, this is nice. This money is really nice. I was able to freelance for several international companies, getting steady pay. Then I joined an agency in the US called Animals, also a B2B SaaS agency. We went on to work at an international B2B SaaS company. And from there, that's where I started getting the money to invest and in startups and advise them. So this is my story. There wasn't anything fancy per se about it. It's just to show that, like, if you like writing, there are people who pay you to write. If you like maybe coding, if you practice enough, position yourself right, with God's help, there are people who will pay you to do it. So I'm going to talk about several things: what roles exist in tech, how to build the skills to get the roles, where to find the roles, and how to present yourself for this role. So I'm going to talk about how to build your resume, and then how to get into interviews and land the roles. Then we'll have a question and answer session. So let's get into it so that there's enough time for us to discuss and cover your questions. So just a brief introduction to the technology industry and the roles in it. Tech is basically um, any company that I can think about that is using some form of software or hardware as their main product, right? And they're selling to the world. So a company like HP, you can argue, is a tech company. A company that's like Microsoft that sells software is also a tech company. So you need to open your mind to different types of companies. A company like OP, that's a tech company, it's a fintech, right? So there are plenty examples of this type of companies all around us. Now, these companies need people to run, obviously, and then we have technical and non-technical roles. So for example, you can work as maybe someone in charge of operations or maybe HR in a software as a service company, or you can work in a technical role as a data analyst in a company that provides marketing automation software. So just to cover some roles, we have non-technical roles, so UX, UI. Oh, when I say non-technical roles, this means that you don't necessarily need to know how to code. So you don't need to be able to write, instruct computers on what to do using languages like Python, JavaScript, and all of that. You don't need to go near a line of code, typically, non-technical roles. So things like UX, UI design, content design, graphic design, sales, operations, content marketing, which is my field, those are non-technical roles. They are bound, they are plenty. Because as people are building products, as they're hiring developers, they need other people in the company to make sure that things are moving forward. Need people to market it, need to make sure that people are getting paid. There's leave that needs to be taken. HR needs to be there to ensure discipline. There needs to be a good image that they're presenting to the what's the name to the world. So we have brands, you have graphic design. Then let's talk about technical roles. So technical roles are those roles that you need to know how to code, need to be able to maybe know something like Python, JavaScript, different languages like that for you to do your job efficiently. So the one that's really hot right now is AI ML engineering because the world is like using AI heavily. Then software engineers have always been there. They will always be there. That's also a great career path. You have back end people who build the who work on behind the scenes of websites, right? You have front end, so people who do design. So like if you're looking at the front end right now, or not, if you are looking at the front end right now of Canva, someone has also done work at the back end. Then you have full stack developers as people or who can work on both sides of the coin. Then there's data analysis, there's cyber security. Cyber security is a very wide field, by the way. There's cloud engineering. There are different options of roles when you think about technical roles. Now, the thing is that jobs are bound in the industry, but um, it's not, how will I put it? Or let me start like this. A lot of people talk about getting to tech as a way to make money. Yes, there's money in tech, but people will pay for the skills that you bring. And it's even good that you are God's children, right? Because He expects us to be excellent at our work. So if we're even channeling our Father's image or doing the things that He has asked us to do, we're supposed to be the best of the best, we're supposed to be hardest working. And that will now help us because we are competing on a global scale. Like think about international rules. Someone in India is fighting for that skill. Somebody in Nepal, somebody in Ghana, somebody in the US too is like fighting, trying to get in. So it's not just, oh, I'm Nigerian. If I'm good in my country, I'm good everywhere. You need to surpass the typical job applicants in your country and become even better. So what I tell people is that you should build competence first before you are trying to go global. This is not the path for everybody. Some people, maybe their first job right out of the gate is with an international company, but I feel like a lot of us, the way things happen for us is that we will get opportunities to work with local businesses to develop our skills with local businesses. So while we're doing that, we need to be diligent in that work because whatever we are learning now, that's what's going to take us to where we are going to what's the name in the future. So um let's talk about the how. Like I've been going on about skills, how. So right now the best way to start is to understand the basics of any field that you have chosen, whether it's a technical or non-technical field. You need to immerse yourself in the foundations of that field. So why I'm making this emphasis right now is because AI is here. If you want to start a career in coding, if you want to start a career in writing, even if you want to start a career in design, almost every job you can literally automate it using AI. But what people don't realize is that AI is very generic. The results it gives you, whether you're by coding a website, whether you're using ChatGPT to write copy for maybe Instagram posts or whatever. It's very generic. I'll see people who have good taste, people who are familiar with how AI develops whatever it is developing, will be able to find out that this person doesn't really know what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with using it, but you need to build yourself in the foundations first so that you develop good taste, and then use AI to augment your work. That's what you need to know. So for example, if you are, let's say if I were to start out again as a content marketer, instead of going to ChatGPT to learn how to draft an article, I will draft an article. I will learn how good articles are written by reading other good articles, by getting feedback, by practicing. Then I'll now maybe use AI for things like research, or maybe things like reading my article. Maybe that will increase um, my speed, reduce my production time so that I'm more efficient, but I cannot let it take the place of my work. And also, if you are someone who's strong in the foundations, as you go along in your career, what you find out is that you keep referring back to those foundations. I've been doing what content marketing for like 7 years, and there are things that I learned on day one from courses about customers and all of that, and that's why I'm still going back to today. That is helping me do my job well. Another thing I would say is that when you're starting out, you should pick, when you've understood these basics, try and look at the field, pick one hard thing that nobody wants to work on, and then work on it. Why I said this is that because when I was starting out, right, a lot of times, sorry, not a lot of, yeah, a lot of times opportunities were plenty. And this is not to scare you. I'm trying to paint an image of the world as it is today. Opportunities were plenty. So even if you were still like building up, you're not as great as maybe other people in the field, there was always work because nobody was automating things with AI, and the economy was not all shaky. Now companies are a bit skeptical about how they um, hire, especially people who are not in the global north, like the US, UK, and all of these rich countries. But one thing that I've noticed is that no matter where you are, if you are good at hard things that not a lot of people know how to do, they will reach out to you. They will find the opportunities, will run after you. So basically, if you are skilled, there will always be an open door for you. So I will always be giving examples from, yes, exactly, get good at doing hard things. I'll just pick an example from content marketing. What a friend of mine used to do was that everybody knew how to write a blog post. It's not hard to do that. So if people were always doing blog posts, what he would do was that he would interview different experts and then create a very comprehensive report. Then he would go to the DMs of heads of content, marketing leaders across different companies where he would want to work, and he will now tell them, oh, I interviewed XYZ person, which is a hard thing to do if you think about interviewing. This All of these interviews, I brought them together, I created this article. Can you please read it and review it? And from there, you start having conversations with people who might be able to hire you and all of that. So this would appear differently depending on your field, but I would always recommend that you should look for where people are not willing to put in the time and extra effort, and go and learn that thing, and then talk about it in front of the right people. Next thing that you're supposed to do is take courses. We are learning. There's nobody that was born with knowledge of, oh, this is what I need to do in tech, all of that. You need to learn. And I think getting started in tech is actually very humbling. There's a lot depending on your field. Like, just you need to actually sit down, make time for it. It's almost like it's like university or whatever form of education, and build competence in that. So, and the point of even taking courses is that there, while you could learn from experience, there are people who have gone ahead of you and they already know what to do, and they are sharing it with you. So, um, yes, a lot of times courses are paid, but there are some free courses as well. There are sites like Coursera. Coursera offers scholarships. You just need to write a few sentences and say, oh, I'm living in a low income country, I need to access this to build my career. And then they will give you access to a course that maybe will cost you several um tens of dollars a month. Google too has a lot of free resources, foundational resources, and some of these courses even come with certifications, which are great. It's not like everybody will just jump at hiring you because you have a certification, but if you have at least put in that work, you can catch the eyes of the right people. You can also look for specialized sites like so for software engineering, free code camp, or try hack me for cybersecurity. So if depending on the field that you choose, technical, not technical, you look for the places that you can find them. So let me just do a quick demonstration here. So let's say you want to do um cybersecurity. I just googled let me change this screen. Yes. So if you look at this, I said free cybersecurity certification. Everybody has Google. So you see, this is an organization offering free cybersecurity training. This see Google that I talked about as well. I think I've taken one of their cybersecurity courses. Anything that is available to you, just use it. Yeah. So the next thing that you need to do is find the mentor. Now, a lot of people are always reaching out and saying, mentor me. And to be honest, it's not everybody that will have time to do that. The good thing about tech is that a lot of people actually actively mentor or they actively give their time. But what you need to know as someone who's upcoming is that if you reach out to someone and say, please mentor me, right, they might not agree. Why? Mentorship is time consuming. It's a lot of time and effort, and people are stressed, right? So what they would probably want to do instead is maybe give you a couple of resources, go and learn. There are so many people who have reached out to me and say, oh, mentor me. I will say, go and take this course, go and take this course. I'll now reach out, have you done it? Cricket. Once I see that, I'll just take it as, oh, you're not really serious with what you're doing. So you need to, if you're approaching a mentor, they might not act the traditional way and say, oh, yes, I'm going to mentor you. But if they give you certain instructions, if anyone senior to you in the field gives you certain instructions or advises you to do something, just go and do it. But I think I went off on the point I was trying to make. You don't need to ask everybody to be your mentor. What you can also do is find somebody that you like their career path and just start following the person's journey. If they have like a place where they document everything they are doing, go and follow the blog. If they are always sharing on their LinkedIn, be there, ask questions, comment. You can actually build the relationship over time. Two of my mentors, how my mentors asked the question on LinkedIn and they offered to teach me, and now I think 2-3 years ongoing, I've been speaking to them over time. But then there are also sites like ADP lists that provide, I think some of these links I should be dropping them in comment. So there are sites like ADP lists that offer you mentorship for free as well. So let me drop the link in the comments. So back, I think about a year ago, I was always on ADP list every week, talking to content marketers and helping them. Some went on to land jobs, some went on to switch careers, different things like that. So there are people who are ready to give their time. Okay, so after all this learning and everything, to be honest, the best way that you can move forward is to do something. So typically, I would always tell people that they should get a role or they should volunteer their time. Yes, if you don't have any experience, it's very hard to get a role. But what you can do is that if you are developing a skill, you try and look for the people around you and try and ask if you can help them do things. So for some non-technical roles and even technical ones, it's actually very easy to do that, to get that practice in without being in-house. Some place, sorry, when I say in-house, I mean like within a company, some type of skills like cybersecurity, you need to actually have a job before you are able to learn some skills. But if you're a designer, a graphic designer, if you have a friend, maybe their mom is running a business or something, ask if you can design from them. I'll get to your question in a bit. You can ask, oh, can I design something for you? Then you start practicing the design principles you have learned, get feedback from customer, even learn client relations from that. So like there's always opportunity to um what's the name practice the skills that you get. Then for, let's say for some reason you are not able to get a role or any of the things, like if you join a community, because every single field in tech has communities where they gather, they talk about like opportunities, they talk about the field itself. Oh, this what's happening, this is what I'm doing at work, what are you doing at work? People ask questions. Sometimes those places need people to volunteer, and can volunteer there and then improve your skills and get feedback from professionals in real time. So Rita, you had a question? Rita, your hand is raised. If you have a question, please ask.
I'm not sure if that was on purpose.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Just go on,
thinking
I'll
too.
let her know. Yeah.
Okay, let me keep going. So six, the next point, you've learned by taking courses, you've practiced debate and all of that. And so while you are doing all of these things, what you are to do next is to build your portfolio. Now, what's the idea of the portfolio? Let, when any of us wants to hire somebody, we want to know that they have done their work before. How many of you have sorry, that work before? How many of you have maybe you wanted to hire a carpenter or something, and then you go and ask your friend, oh, do you have anybody that you can recommend to me? Just like you guys can maybe press the thumbs up but emoji if that's something you have done, like ask for recommendations from people. So we all need proof. Every time that we are trying to hire someone, we need proof. It's the same thing with the people who are going to hire, especially because you are an international talent. You need to be able to show that the thing that you are promising, you can deliver it. Your portfolio is that for you. So the basic idea is you are building a physical, sorry, not physical, you are building a place where they can come to, whoever it is that wants to hire you can go to and then see that, oh, this person has done this person has done that, and then be able to trust you and hire you. Different fields have different portfolios. So if you are a writer, let me share this. If you're a writer, you can use this portfolio site now. It's called Mookrak. So this is mine. Well, I don't use this now. I have somewhere else, but I'm just showing you as an example. So these are the articles that I wrote when was this? I think this like 2020. So that's like 6 years ago. My God. But the point is that it's very easy. I even forgot I wrote this one. It's very easy for whoever wants to hire me to see my writing style and see if this is the type of person they want to bring on their team. So remember how I said, oh, if you are working for people, you are volunteering your time, or you are maybe in a community building things based on the skills you have acquired, how you're supposed to sorry, that sentence became muddled up. Basically anything that you use your skills to build, right, they should go into your portfolio. So for devs, they can create a portfolio. That's software developers, engineers, all of that can use a place like GitHub, for example, to show the lines of code that they have written. So one simple step is that you can look for where um people in your industry post their portfolios, and then go and open a page for yourself so that you're able to improve your chances of getting work. Or if you have a personal website, you can also just post your work there. So let me quickly show you mine, my personal website with my work. In a second. It's fine. It's taking some time to load. So I think I will not delay us. I'll just okay, it's showing. So this is my own personal website with my work. So I've done various things across different content types. I've written case studies, so anybody can come here and see. Um, mm, this is thought leadership content. This is webinar. So basically anything that I can do is here, right? Yeah. So for another site I wanted to show you is by hands, where the designers can put their portfolio, but it's not opening up. So I'm just going to leave that now. Okay. So the next thing, at this point, you are almost ready to land your first real international role. You have built your competence, whether you're working in a local company or volunteering or what. The next thing you can do is to decide how you want to work. So there isn't one way to work with international brands. You can work as an internal team member, an external team member. Typically, that would mean that you are, if you are working as an external team member, that means you are freelancing. So you can work with different companies at the same time. That was the first part I took when I started. So I think I had about 2 to 3 clients at a time. So I would write for different people. Anybody that has work, they'll call me, or me, I'll follow up. Oh, do you have work? The problem with freelancing is that your earnings are not stable, but sometimes people get I don't say people get lucky. Sometimes people have what we call retainers. So you start working and then maybe the person's like, okay, for the next 6 months we're giving you work, or this project is going to run for XYZ time. So that's basically a concept of the retainer. Then you can also join in-house. So you can also be in-house rather. So as I said, I worked at an agency, I worked within an international company. I was on their team. So for the B2B SaaS company, I had access to the product. I could talk to everybody on the team. For the agency, I worked in-house with the agency, but we had to write for clients. So those ones, I was not on their team, but I was in-house in another team. So they are just different arrangements. And the more you try different things, the best you know what will work for you. So I don't like agencies. The work is a lot. It's very stressful for me. Some people do. Some people like that. It's very versatile, and then they would always go for that. So it's just something to consider. And why deciding on path is important at this point is that it will now affect how you look for work. By the way, nothing is set in stone. Yes, agencies can be a lot. Nothing is set in stone. If you start and then you're like, I don't like this thing, no, then you can just give it up and you change paths. I've done freelance, I've done agency, I've done in-house. I'm currently even doing something where they call it like a fractional marketer role, where you're not really on the team but you're kind of on the team. So I'm basically consulting as well. They're just different options really. But anyway, whatever you choose, one way to get you know what, let me go back here. Okay, no, I'll cover that in later on. So when you're looking at international roles, right, your network needs to be slightly different. I'm not saying abandon everybody that lives in Nigeria. Even Nigerians are working abroad. There are also Nigerians working within Nigeria that you have a lot to learn from. But the thing is, you need to be visible to the international community within your industry. So I would say for professionals, a lot of time they're on X, that's Twitter, or formerly Twitter, and LinkedIn. So you want to join communities in these places, or you want to build a network of these people in these places. So now let's talk about the community aspect. For, as I said, for every single field, there's a community. So it can be as easily as you googling cyber security. As you guys can see, I really love cyber security. Cyber security communities. And then you now find out that, oh, there's a lot. Google has one. I'm seeing a lot of Google this thing. Let me try something. Oh, I said Google. Sorry. Cybersecurity community. So you see, there's just a lot of this cybersecurity community. See, there are even articles on cybersecurity community. So when you join places like this, oftentimes what you see is that you have people who are far ahead of you, and then they are willing to share their ideas, they're willing to guide you. You also have opportunities coming into this place. A lot of times people are just like, oh, there's work, or I'm looking for someone who's doing this or that. And then before you know, internship, you have not entered somewhere. When you're in these communities, whatever you do, please do not go and say I'm looking for work. There's actually one of a community I was in, and then there it was open, it was free. Then it got to a point where people from some developing countries now come and start saying, "Hi, I'm XYZ, I'm looking for work," and you send the message to every single channel. And it's for the, I don't want to say for the white people there, because it's making it seem like, oh, Africans and Asians were um not as advantaged as them. I think it now made them now start thinking, "Ah, what's going on here? This is not the type of atmosphere we're trying to create, right?" So they kicked everybody out, and then they now made it paid. So I think it's about $500 per year. I am no longer a part of that community because that's quite a steep fee. There's nothing wrong with it, like it's actually a very good place to be. But the point is, observe how people are behaving there, and don't say, "Oh, I'm looking for work," or go into people's DMs and then ask for work. You get banned. Instead, how you can show yourself and make yourself visible, engage in conversations, ask questions. If you know something, reach out, and maybe someone asks a question about it, you can reach out right there or ask, "Can I send you a DM?" If you are struggling with something, post about it. Someone will answer you from there. Go and get on a call, and then um have conversation, become visible to one of my mentors. What actually happened is that I lost an opportunity because I was living in Nigeria, and I went, I was crying for her because she's Nigerian, but she lives in Canada. And from there, like, she was offering advice, trying to help me. And like, I think it's 4 years or so after, we still are in contact. When I was recently looking for an opportunity, she was just on a call with me, guided me through. So you can build these relationships, they can be organic. Just, it takes time. You can also volunteer your time to help run communities. I've seen a lot of people who have landed their first role because they have said, "Oh, I noticed XYZ thing is not working," or that you need help with this. How can I come in? They come in, and for life has changed. They are in a much better place. So there's so many different ways to do this. Then when we think about social networks like X and LinkedIn, um, you should connect with people there. So don't, and then one thing I'll say is, don't only connect with people who are ahead of you, network upwards and downwards. Some of the people that have invested in their startup or have put my name forward for roles are people that we all started out together, right? You don't know who's going to become who. There's a writer I became friends with several years ago. He was writing, got tired, and then started his own agency, sold that agency to someone in Canada, which is like probably hundreds of dollars, and then started, I think he's on his third company now. I've invested in one. You don't know who is going to become who, so don't be snobbish towards anyone. Um, People who are, it's how like God wants us to honor everybody, right? So, and then yeah, like you can actually even pray, "God, who should I connect with? Who should I go to for help?" Because you, it's there's so many ways that people can be useful to you, and can be useful to people as well. For the senior professionals, what I found very easy to use to connect with them is that I attend events. So there are a lot of free webinars and stuff like that. So things like this, you attend, you see someone's name, maybe they even say, "Oh, let's all share profile." You connect with them from there. Then Sometimes you can start a conversation and just introduce yourself. Sometimes you don't. You can just engage with their LinkedIn or X post over time. And then even when we're thinking about LinkedIn and X, I didn't add this here. What you can do is share what you are working on. Remember that whole thing of building skills, portfolio, all of that. So as you're learning things, be posting about it. Don't come and say, oh, I'm so great at this. Come from the perspective of I am learning, I'm discovering things. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know, but this was happening. Because to be honest, there are some people who are mean in tech. So let's say you're doing your first design, you go and post it on Twitter, they can drag you. But nonetheless, there are people who are nice, and then they are just like, oh, this person, I love what he's doing. I'll take this person under my wing. So the point is that you can reach an international audience through these channels. You just need to be specific about it. And then I would say that you should start looking at the companies that you even want to work for. Who are the people in these companies, right? Like if you like fintechs and you like international fintechs, go and follow people there, follow Nigerians there, follow, maybe if you want to join their marketing team, go and follow their CMO. They're engaging in the person's post. The person will see you when you now apply. If you are good enough for them to like consider you for their roles, right? You are likely to get a favorable response because they are familiar with you. So moving on, the next one, just like piggybacking off the whole application thing, when you want to land international roles, you are going to face a challenge. You live in Africa, you live outside the global north. The roles are a bit limited. They are there, but they're a bit limited, especially now AI. This is not to discourage you. I would want to paint a very clear um idea of the situation. Now, when you are looking for roles, go to where you are wanted, go to where there are opportunities for people like you. So me, I remember when I was searching for work, I'll just apply everywhere. And then some people not answer, some people will say, ah, sorry, oh, you're in Nigeria, I can't work with you. And those rejections were very painful. So what I started doing was that I learned the difference in global remote, work from anywhere, remote first, and then US remote, remote in Latin region, or maybe EMA or hybrid. All of these things matter because when you're looking through job descriptions or descriptions for freelance requests, because if you are not in the places that you want to hire from, there's nothing that you will say that these people will not hire. And it's not like they're being wicked. Sometimes there are tax requirements, sometimes there are company structure requirements. It just can't be bothered to go through all of that, except you're really exceptional, which goes back to that my point I said about doing hard things. Because some of these companies, if you're the only one, maybe one of the few people who can do something for them, wherever you are, they will come and hire you, or they will relocate you. All of these things are possible. So my own way of finding places to work is I look for companies that have remote work baked into their values. So I don't know how many of you were like paying, how many of you worked remotely during COVID, or maybe you saw people that you know working remotely during COVID? Ah, so I say, is it only, so it's only two people? You will not see anybody that works. Maybe everybody here was around during COVID now. You will not see people. Ah, okay. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that during COVID, there were a lot of people working from home, and companies now took it as, oh, we'll start doing remote work because it became a big thing. Then, like, it was a way to show you're a really good company. But then, yes, sorry, I realized that COVID was like 6 years ago. God, that's crazy, man. But that's why I also asked that, do you know anybody that worked remotely there as well? But the point is that everybody was working remotely, different companies were shouting about it, they were hiring from everywhere. A few years after, they now started saying, no, people will come to the office. And a lot of people lost jobs because, like, some people were in Ghana, some people were in Nigeria, and nobody's giving you visa to go to London to go and work. They'll fire your entire office. But the point is that there were companies way back, like 2000, 2010, they were working remotely. They believe remote work is the only way to work, and that is what you should be looking out for. You should also look at how like teams are distributed. So if you go to company websites, they typically like bragging about stuff like that, like, oh, we have, our team is all over the world, but this, but that, 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 that. So let me share this with you. I need to increase this. So see, do the best work of your career from anywhere. We are in fully remote team, async first, working across 22 countries. So once you see something like this, and yes, you can visit their careers page and go to any company's careers page to see this type of, oh, I should have switched screens instead. Sorry, going back to my presentation. So you can visit career pages on websites of the companies you're applying to see how they're distributed. If you are freelancing now, like what you should look for, because you might not be looking for like a full-time job, go to, like, a lot of times freelancers find work through places like LinkedIn. Maybe someone puts out a call, I'm looking for a designer that can do XYZ for this period of time. Ask in the comments, is this open to people everywhere? Then also, if you're using a job board, I'll get to job boards in a bit. If you are looking at job boards, you can just, some of them include like location, mentions of locations and all of that. You can also just reach out to someone on the team of the company and say, do people hire from everywhere? DMs on LinkedIn are mostly free, and DMs on X are free. Just send a message to them. Someone will answer you. People in tech are pretty chill, to be honest. There's hardly any gatekeeping. So, as I said, look for work from people who want to hire you, or people who are willing to relocate you, because the good thing about international roles is that sometimes they bring you in to their country to work for them there. So there are places like, these are job boards, remote.com, work remotely, remote Africa, working nomad, sorry, remote.co, arc, scout happy. They curate these jobs. Some are freelance, some are full-time. They basically say, oh, come here, we have already done all the hard work of looking for work for you, and then you can easily apply. So I think what I should do is that I should copy this and then share this to people later. So now, once you find the places that you want to apply to, they will typically use something like, okay, how many people have applied for an international role here? Nobody. Okay. So how this works when you want to apply for an international role is that they use what we call job sites, right? Everything that you're doing is online. So I'm just going to take you through one right now, so that you can see. So this is Scout Happy, one of the sites that I shared. So let's say we're looking for a software engineering job. We go here, right? And then we choose like, see, like I said, the freelance work. There's work that is in-house. Let's say senior role, Lord. Okay, this is interesting. Assistant therapist. You guys, sorry. I got distracted. So let's say QA assurance engineer. You pick this, right? You click on it, right? And then what you're going to see is a job description here. Then under the job, sorry, a description of the company, right? You guys see? Okay. Is everybody following, please? Okay. So you are going to see a description of the company. Then you see the job requirements. Then you now see things that they want in every candidate. So don't be discouraged by any of these things. If you have like maybe 80% on it, that's great. Then they will show you the offer. Some places they even put the salary that they are going to offer you. And then next thing when you finish reading through is to apply for the role. Now, let me share this tab again. So this will take you to the job site. This is what you typically look for when you're applying for roles online. Same thing that they're saying. So you have to put in your details. So first name, last name, email. So you put your resume and CV. I'll get to that in a bit. You put your cover letter. So you guys see how there's a red mark here, right? Like there's just this small mark here that shows this asterisk here, means that you must have a resume or a CV before you submit the application. But if you notice the cover letter here, that's here. I think I can zoom in on this a bit. So resume has this asterisk, which means that you must have it before your application is complete. Cover letter does not have the asterisk. Now, you might think, oh, let me just quickly apply and be on my way. But the thing is that when people who are hiring are trying to pick a good candidate, a lot of times you read cover letters, especially if you're the first few to submit. When we were hiring um, at Float, I read people's cover letters. So you can fill out all of these points like, oh, this is my LinkedIn profile. By the way, it's very important. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, please go and open one today. It's very important for getting international roles. See, let me not get into that. Then you fill out all of these things, but remember, the cover letter is important because that's what helps them just know more about you and distinguish you from other people. So, going back to hmm, going back to this, always write your cover letter so that they will know that you are serious about the role, that you stand out from other people. Now, let's say that you so I'm going to jump to this actually instead. Part of the things that you're supposed to submit for every job application is a resume. So I'm going to just walk you through the elements of a very good resume real quick. So this is mine, just like snippets of my own. Can everybody see it? Please indicate you can see it. Okay, great. Forgive me if there are any typos in this. I recently updated it, but the point is that this is very easy to read and it just gives basic information about me. It has my name and title. If I were to be applying for a content marketer job, I would change this from content strategist because you want your CV to align with the role you're applying for. And then I don't know how many of you have CVs or resumes, right? But a lot of times in Nigeria, the formatting is different. You might see somebody's local government and all of that. If you're applying for international roles, you need your email where they can contact you, your LinkedIn, your if you have a website, you can put it and then your phone number. Some people call you when you're hiring. Then a quick background about what you are doing, who you are, that are your biggest results. Then you talk about your experience. So the format for resumes, right, is that you start with your newest experience and then go down to your oldest experience. So you also include things like your education. Where did you go to school? Then what skills do you have? So for this particular content strategist role, these are the type of skills that they're looking for. I put it there. Now, what happens is that when you are applying for a role, you see this place that we went to, right? This is called an ATS. So it's this is called greenhouse and ATS, which means applicants tracking system. So basically people come to one website, they apply there, and then all their information is now put together as like I don't know how to explain it, but basically the back end of the website for team members to access. So the way to look for me, if I were the one hiring, is different from how it looks for you. But the point is that applicants tracking systems have a different way of looking at resumes. So instead of your traditional formats that Nigerians have, where there's like lots of information might be formatted different ways, there are some things you need to keep in mind. I don't think that slide is here. I think, okay, I think that particular page gone, but some things to know. It should be a PDF. It should start from the oldest experience to the most recent one. It should have your job titles. You should have your experience as well. It's better for it to be very clean, neat, and simple. See all those fancy Canva designs. When the ATS is reading through it, the designs and extra elements can now scatter your text. We don't want that. We just want people to know this is what I'm good at. Simple. Now, when you, let's say, God has helped you, you've gotten your interview date and you're prepping, there are several things you need to do. Typically, you'll be informed about your interview and allowed to pick a date. I noticed that Nigerian HR used to call someone on the day of and say, "Oh, can you come in by 3 p.m.?" That's madness as far as I'm concerned. How this usually functions is that you get like an email back and then they let you pick a date and so that you can prepare, and then it's usually online, or like some places call via phone, but typically it's online. So before you get into that interview, make sure you research the company to understand the problem. So I was interviewing someone, I asked her what does the company do, she couldn't answer, and that's how obviously she didn't move to the next round, because what are you doing on a call if you don't know what we're doing? Then if you see things that they can improve related to your role, the role that you're coming in to help them with, you can make a list of recommendations that you share during the interview, but don't be critical. What happens a lot of times is that, like, when you are coming in, you don't have a very I just realized I wasn't sharing the right tab. You don't have a comprehensive idea of what's going on in that company. So there might just be lots of things that, like, people want to improve but they don't have time or resources. Then if you know who's going to be speaking to you, because sometimes these companies provide information like, oh, our head of operations is going to be the one to do the first interview, go and Google the head of operations. Look for random facts about her. If you have a dog, she has a dog, she has posted about it on LinkedIn. Open that interview with, oh, how's your dog? Because sometimes what people don't know is that if we just have a good vibe during the beginning of the call, someone can pick you. That's a favor. Like, oh, this person is extremely likable. They are competent and they are likable. Please do not rely on the likability to get the role. You have to balance it. Favor of the Lord is upon you, but you need to be competent. Then you can connect with someone on the team and just say, "Hi, I'm interviewing for XYZ role." When I say connect to the person on the team, so you have LinkedIn or X, you can send a connection request. "Hi, I'm interviewing for this open role at your company. Do you have any advice for me on how to ace the interview?" As I said, tech, a lot of people were happy to help you. There's no gatekeeping. Then if you know someone who's working there, or maybe like it's a Nigerian and then you are trying to get in, you can send them a message. A lot of people have texted me, "Oh, can you recommend me?" To be honest, it's a bit tricky for me, right? Because I might not know the person's competence, but if I go through your resume and it looks good, I recommend you. So what another thing you need to know is that people who work within companies, they're often compensated for recommendations. So for example, someone, if you recommend someone and they hire the person, get $1,000 in, like, one of the companies that I've worked with, which is like, that's a lot of motivation. So another thing you should do is that you should come to the interview with questions. As they're interviewing you, you're interviewing them, because people are very focused on getting the work. They don't realize when you get the work, you need to stay within the company to work. If they don't have good processes, if they are probably going to discriminate against you because you are black, because that's a thing, you need to know from this. And so what are their policies around diversity, equality, and inclusion? You ask them, okay, so the person I'm reporting to, um sorry, the person I'm reporting to, okay, let's not ask that type of question. Let's say you can ask, like, what are the things they are put in place for the growth of their staff? Because you also don't want to get an international role and then you will not grow, because it happens sometimes. You get a role, you're doing the same thing over and over again. Do they have a stipend for you to learn? Are there learning programs that they do, or things like that? It's very important. Things like that just save you time, save them time, let everybody know. And when it comes to the post, what's the name? Post interview stage, follow up afterwards. Say hi, thank you, for speaking with me. Really excited about this. If there are any questions, for example, that you didn't answer well, you can follow up with a good answer in your email or LinkedIn DM to whoever you spoke to. Um, so there was a point that came to mind, but I can't remember right now. But I'm going to go into Q&A right now, because I would love to hear your questions. So please share your questions with me and I will answer it. Let's hear from everyone.
Thank you so much, Stella. I'm
Oh,
really
well.
grateful. Please, can I see our clapping emoji? If it was as what's it called, informative for you as it was for me.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. And please, if you have questions, you can leave them in the chat box, or you can raise up your hand if you want to ask a question as well. Um, if you have a question, so first thing, Stella, please, could we get the slides? That's the first one.
Yeah, sure. Let me share
All
them
right.
with you. Okay, we
Okay,
have a question.
Prince Sola has one. All right, Sola, you can go first.
Hello, good evening. Thank you so much, Queen Stella, for the amazing presentation.
Oh,
It was very detailed and it was really relatable on how to go through the process. My question is about the site for the interviews. When you said like what the company does, do we? Because most times when I watch videos, they'll say learn the vision.
hello.
Sometimes their
Sorry,
mission.
you're breaking up.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's where I'm sitting. Let me try to move around the house. Okay,
Okay.
so I was asking concerning comes to interview you mentioned. I've
Yeah.
watched videos and they say something like learn their vision or their mission or learn like what they actually do, what goal they are trying to achieve. Like, are there like specific things that sometimes the company wants to know that you know about them? Or can you just give scenarios of I don't know how to put it, but like at least to prepare you better to know because you can go to their website or maybe their Instagram page or to get information about them, and it's a lot. But at the same time, you're supposed to know at least some things about the company. So
Mm.
it's just tips. Yeah, what should we look out to know for the know about the company that we are applying for, and what should we is it remember to like show that we actually did our research.
Okay. Okay, before I go on, I've sent the slides to you so you can share with everyone. Wait, I need to ensure that there's access. Okay, so let's talk about this, right? Um, when I say learn about the company, all those generic things like mission, vision, for international companies, a lot of them, the ones I worked with, I've never seen their mission and vision in my life. All I know is that this is what their product does, and this is the problem they solve. When you go to the website, except for those unfortunately with unclear positioning and copy, which means that when you go to the website, you read, you don't understand what products they have because everybody's offering either a service or product. For those ones, it's very hard to figure out what they do. But you just spend time on the website, go to the um you know what? Let me just do a quick demo of this. So let's use something like greenhouse. Oh, okay. So remember that ATS system that I told you about, right? Showed you rather, showed everybody here. So
Yeah.
this basically they are very clear. When you come, maybe you're interviewing with them, they're a hiring platform. What are they trying to do? They are trying to help employers find employees, help employees or job seekers find employment. Two-way streets. That's it. So a lot of this is intuition, right? And then you just go to the site. Okay, they're a hiring platform. They have two aspects to it, right? As I said, was they're helping people find jobs. They are also helping companies find employees. Now you figure that out, you can now start looking at the platform. So for almost every software company or even hardware companies, they whether have platform or maybe something like a features page, like to talk about what exactly they are doing. So let's go to okay. If I scroll down here, we don't even need to go up here, right? If I scroll down here, You now see their solutions: AI recruiting, talent sourcing, scalable workflows, So you can read through this to understand the product. Then why greenhouse? Like basically, you can now, if you want to really go deep, you can also understand why they are better than the competition from here. Now, that makes sense if you're a marketer. If I'm a dev, I might not need to know this much. I might be looking for other technical details about their site. So that's context specific. Know what they primarily solve, right? Understand how your role connects with it, then look for information that will help you within the interview to show that, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what these people are doing. And nobody expects you to come with like a very strong knowledge of the product, except you are a former user of the product. Because sometimes, like, one of the things that help people get jobs is that they have used a product or a service before. So they're just like, oh, you understand what we're doing here. Come in. I hope that was clear.
Yes, it was very. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Someone asked a question in the chat here,
Okay.
which is Adelove. My question is that is it compulsory to have a LinkedIn account?
It's not compulsory, but it's very advisable. It is extremely advisable, except you have some coding prodigy in some state somewhere or in Silicon Valley where they can easily find you. You better have LinkedIn page. The thing is visibility. I hate LinkedIn. If I had a way to
Oh
burn
my
down that,
God, we are twin sisters.
exactly, like nobody likes LinkedIn, right? But
Like it's
that's where,
stress. I don't know why it's just stressful for me.
yes, especially if you are not someone who is like, you don't naturally self-promote. I've done things in this life, like
Oh
I've done
God.
amazing stuff, but I
Wow.
struggle there. Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you know what you're saying now is something that I told somebody today? I told her that
Mhm.
I had to work on like my creative portfolio, and it was hard
Yeah,
putting into like words and sentences everything I had done. I had to just go
exactly.
to Claude and just type out, okay, I've done blah blah blah. I've worked with so
Help me.
brands.
Mhm.
Help me craft it. And when he wrote it, I'm like, wow, is this me?
Exactly. Is
Really?
this me? Even me, they shock me. So nobody likes self promotion on LinkedIn, but it's just like, okay, if you need something, go to the market. LinkedIn is the market of tech jobs. Like, that's where everybody comes. That's where everybody starts paying attention to upcoming talent or existing talent. You need to be visible. I have one LinkedIn post like that. I need to go and share it. I'll be procrastinating because I'm hyperventilating. It's not a comfortable thing, but you need to have it. But also, if you don't want to do that, I have an article where I was talking about how you can also promote yourself in other ways. But what I found is that in the end, a lot of times, oh, what did I do? Sorry. I turned on captions here by some for some reason. A lot of times you still end up going to LinkedIn, but let me just look for that article for you. I think my
All right.
keyboard has gone off. I'll send that to you in a bit. Okay, so that's the answer. Yes, it's extremely advisable. I can't control my laptop right now because my keyboard has gone haywire. I
Oh,
don't know. I think I pressed something and none of them is
okay.
responding. So I'll send the link later. But I'm here. You guys can hear me. I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to add to Adelove is that even if you don't actively use your LinkedIn account, like people that have maybe X accounts and they're just there to stalk and see what other people are doing, they're not actively
Yeah.
tweeting and stuff. You can just have a LinkedIn account where you put the basics, so your education, your experience, and just have it there like as a profile where people can actually go and look for you and see what you do. Even if you not actively post or do anything there, if you feel like it's stressful, let it just serve like as a resume for you. If you want to check out your professional qualifications and what you actually do.
Yeah.
So you can
Exactly.
just create one, put like the basic and just leave it there. You don't even have to open it, but just have it. So people get to
Yeah.
see what you actually do. But I mean, as Stella said, it's actually very important because it helps people, at least if you want to apply for international roles, help people see what you do. It gives some form of credibility to as well. Right.
Exactly.
Okay, so Abigail
It's
is
super.
saying, yeah, which
So
is what
that's
I
the
mean.
thing.
Yeah, sorry to cut you, but based on what you said, I was thinking, okay, I need to organize a LinkedIn class, like for them to as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, you
So,
can go on.
another thing, though, like sometimes resources can be a problem or something to consider, but there are people who do LinkedIn optimization. There are people who build resume. I don't like writing resume. I pay someone to do it. LinkedIn too. You can find people, and then like obviously it's gonna cost money, but then it's something that maybe you can save towards. You have money, God will provide. There's money, and I know it's like, oh, we hear God will provide all the time, but these things actually do happen. Do you know what I was doing for people that I was mentoring? Like I think a year back, I was paying for resume rewrites for them. So like everybody that will come in, I'll pay for their resume to be written. Is that not provision? It can happen for you. Though I stopped it for now, but let's see what the Lord will do. But the point is that if you don't like writing, you just tell God, oh, I don't like writing, and something will open up. And sometimes nothing will open up. What's going to open up is that you open ChatGPT and then ask it to create a section for you. Let me see if my keypad is working now. Um Okay, thank God. So let me show you something. I recently changed my LinkedIn this thing because my LinkedIn bio, because I was just like, oh, this is not fully representative of who I am. And I wrote down something and then I just asked it. That's I think Claude probably because I really like Claude. I asked it to rewrite it for me. Omo, network. Okay, we're almost there. Give me a second. Let me open it. Where's my description? Okay, yeah. So see, this before I was talking about how I'm a writer. I'm no longer just a writer. I'm doing a lot more now. So I didn't write this myself, right? I kind of dictated it to Claude and then he built it out for me. Don't limit yourself. There are lots of resources in the world right now to help you do the things that you need to do. So yeah. And how do I switch to this tab? Hmm, I'm gonna say, oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so does anyone have any extra questions?
Yes, yes. So, for most of the people in, or most of the ladies or young people in YSB and in our other programs that we run, because we run like a mentoring program for guys once a month or once a year. We should have friends of YSB that are guys as well.
Yeah.
Now, I'm putting myself in the shoe of somebody who is done with school. They probably studied a course that I don't want to say has little or no impact, but they just studied the course and they're done. And they're looking to land a job, not necessarily an international one, I mean at first, because I feel like they need to build some sort of skill set.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What would you advise that they do first in terms of learning a skill, improving on the skill, and then landing like jobs and roles that can actually pay them?
So if you have your phone and you have the access to the internet, it's not that easy because data costs. But the point is,
Yeah.
as I said, you need to learn the basic skills. So the free certifications, free courses, take those ones, right? Then there are also programs. So something like Old School now, for example, I don't know how many of you have heard about it, but Old School basically trains people in tech skills. Something like Old School, sometimes they have scholarships. Apply for the scholarship, get in by God's grace, attend the classes. They force you to build projects. So you now have your portfolio. And it sounds like oh, I'm going far from the, oh, I want to land job right now. Nobody's going to really hire you if they don't see that you're able to do something. So then the other thing is look for internships and graduate programs. Unfortunately, internships don't really pay that well, but they exist. So um, graduate programs, typically companies are bringing you in and then they're paying you like some money and while they're teaching you, so you can get in
Yeah.
on things like that. They are fairly competitive, but it's still possible. So, for example, how many of you know Carry Wise?
Yeah, we do.
So, if you know Carry Wise, every other day they are bringing people in to learn with them. I think for this month, since International Women's Day tomorrow, what they did is that they got sorry, um they asked women to apply to join them if they are product managers, UI, UX, different things like that. So if you're applying and then maybe you spend some time getting those skills before you even get it, it's easier for you to enter those companies. So okay, look at a company like MTN now. MTN does graduate trainings as well, and this other company. So it all sounds like, oh, these are just big places and all of that. But see, people are getting into these places. It is very possible for you to get in. You and then like as we all know, God can make if that's the path that you're supposed to take, God will make a way for you. So you just look out for stuff like that. It's old school. My keyboard has gone back to its haywire state once again. So wait, let me think I know the
Yeah.
problem.
Stella, there's a question for you in the comment. I don't want to type it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
What's the you the tech school like that
Oh
free? Is
yeah,
it free
yeah.
course?
I'm trying to get it for you.
Okay.
I've removed the issue that was stopping me from accessing. Yeah, old school, so you can check them out. They're not the only ones. There are many. There's 1411. I don't know if the 1411 you have to pay. But my friend runs this one where they train people. They are boot camp.
Okay.
So you can check this one out as well. There's She Codes Africa. So there are like there are different opportunities for you to learn. But the point is that build skills, look for places that are looking for you. So internships are great. And then sometimes you might just volunteer your time and then someone is not paying you, but they're training you. When you're giving 1 naira per word, to be honest, if I had to pay rent, I would have been living on the streets, but I was living with my parents. So it was easy to
Mm,
earn that low and still like work and develop those skills. So if you finish school and let's say financial responsibility is not too much on you, then that would be a great what's the word? That would be a great time to start learning those skills. But there's less pressure.
yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Stella.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Finally, okay. I'll have to the replay of this session. I'll have to make sure I download the audio and send it out.
Okay.
Um. So the last thing I wanted to say is, how do you actually? Okay, I know you had mentioned that whatever field you're working in, like find like the skill that is like the hardest and like
Mm-hmm.
choose that as well. Um, has as learning an international role as a Nigerian, has there been like barriers to it? Like
Oh yeah.
working, yeah.
No. So there's the fact that you're just Nigerian. A lot of people don't trust us because unfortunately some of us
Mm,
have behaved and given us a bad reputation. But there's also the fact that you're Nigerian, so we also have good reputations as hard, good reputation as hard workers and like people who can get things done. So don't be too discouraged by that. Then going to the next thing, there's the just the fact that, as I said, you're not in the global north, so it doesn't matter if you were in Canada for some jobs if you are not in like a place like sorry, Canada is a terrible example. Let's say you are in outside Nigeria, you live in a place like Brazil or some other country. There are some rules that will just not be available to you because you are not in the global north, you are not in the um LATAM area. That's Latin America and the Americas.
Okay.
And those are things you just make peace with. You can find ways to move to places that offer those opportunities or get them to relocate you, but just make peace with it. Then there's also financial restrictions. Some of us have lost work because people cannot pay us. So as you know, PayPal
Mhm.
doesn't work in this country. And then like there was a time that I had to be using my friend's PayPal because how the company wanted to pay was PayPal. They were not hearing anything else. Luckily for me, I
Wow.
found like an app that I was able to collect payments on. But for a lot of us, we lose money. Some of us, if we even collect payments, the app can lock us out and then lock all our money. So there are barriers, and then data is expensive. We are fighting in light a lot of times, and courses are expensive
Mhm.
because the currency is not so great. So these things exist, but despite this, right, there is a way. I think with remote work, if you really want to get into it, you have to prepare your mind that I'm gonna push myself because people say this thing, oh, work remote, get one side hustle. It's not a side hustle. Anybody has a side hustle, anybody is selling course, remote work side hustle, block the person. Person doesn't know what they're talking about. How they are making money is by selling courses. Anybody who has worked in like a proper remote setting knows that there's a lot to do. Some people are able to keep several jobs, right? But
Yes.
it's never that easy at all. Yeah.
Mm. All right. Thank you so, so much. We
Thank
are
you for
really,
having
really, really grateful. Thank you so much. It's been, I mean, I personally, even though I'm not looking to, I mean, I'm considering it now. Is looking very doable and visible. So can we all say thank you, Stella?
me.
Um, her website, which I just
Thank you
even
for
found, is
having me.
stellainabo.com. Please, you can send, I'll send
Oh,
her handle to the group on Instagram. So you follow her, go and follow her on
yes.
LinkedIn as well. If you're not in the community,
I'll
because I just
send
saw
that
people
too.
here that I know I'm not. Okay, yeah, she's sharing that as well. If you're not in the
Yeah.
community,
And
please
so
reach out
sorry.
to. Okay,
There's so for anybody who wants to start out in content marketing specifically, I have like a list, sorry, like some articles I wrote a while back that can help
oh,
guide
that's
you. So you
good.
can just go to them and then this Queen Stella, I love it oh. Thank you. Yeah, you can
Yeah, that's what we
my
call ourselves, the
love
YSB
it.
queens.
Okay, so you can go through those and then look for information that will help you. DMs are open. I might not answer for a while because I still this is my year of rest. I'm a chilling babe this year because of all the fight I'm fighting this tech. But I will try to answer any questions. Yeah, you know what? If you want a reply, but just email me because if you DM me on LinkedIn, I just open my
Yes, let
LinkedIn.
us know what your email is as well.
Yeah, so you can
Yes.
send me
And please,
emails.
if you're also trying to reach her and it's not, I mean, she's not coming through, or there's something specific you want to ask, or you don't even know what you want to ask and how you want to ask it, please come through me first. So we'll be able to construct what it is you want to ask. And so, yeah. And if you want us to have another session with Stella again, also let me know because another thing we're doing is ensuring that all of you are armed with the skill set that you need to be able to thrive in your careers and build your careers as well, right? Also I wanted to say something as well. Yes, if you're not in the community and I don't know how you might have gotten the link through somebody, please send them a message so we share the slides with you as well so that you get the slides. And if you want the recording, as always, we would extract the audio from the video so audio can be made available. You can listen again and take notes. As usual, we'll share a recap on our social media page, Instagram. Please do well to follow us as well. Thank you so much, Stella. I am truly grateful.
Thank
It has
you
been a
for having
learning
me.
curve for me as well. And yes, thank you so much.
I'm really
All
glad.
right.
I'm really glad.
Sola, please can you pray for us as we
Okay.
round up? Thank you.
That's me. Everlasting Father, we thank you for today.